Number one is ownership. And I think as educators, we always want our students to take ownership of their learning. EdPuzzle does that. One feature is that it's self-paced. And it also allows the students to kind of rewind, redo, to kind of achieve mastery, which is also one of the reasons why I love it. Accountability, especially in an instance where you are differentiating or you have students on different paths. And you kind of want to make sure that everybody is at least doing their part and they know they will be held accountable. EdPuzzle checks that box as well. And finally, I alluded to it earlier, mastery learning. Just that EdPuzzle is just that great tool that allows students, especially when we use it as a formative assessment, because EdPuzzle is a formative tool, it allows students to do it until they learn it or until they get it right. So it is wonderful for that. Now, EdPuzzle is licensed in our school district for grades 5 through 12. There is a free account. Our licensed account gives teachers the opportunity to have unlimited storage and some other bells and whistles. So in order to sign up, you simply go to edpuzzle.com, you create your account if you don't have one already using cheltenham.org, and you sign up as a teacher. I think there was someone who emailed me not too long ago that they had signed up as a student, and I can't change that. They had to reach out to EdPuzzle. So please make sure you sign up as a teacher. Two ways to assign EdPuzzle. The one on the left is what's traditionally used. On the right, the live mode is new. So on the left is kind of more asynchronous student pace. Doesn't mean that they can't be in a live class. You could have students broken up into different groups and have them looking at different concepts or skills at one time. And it's still student pace. So they control everything right in their screen. Live mode is a little different, which I do kind of like. If you have an intro, like 1 minute intro on the Crusades, and you want all of the students to kind of answer at the same time, you can now, using your projector and your computer, project and they can view EdPuzzle and kind of answer together. So I like that they added that little kind of community aspect to it. Features that students and teachers love. And it's so rare that teachers and students love the same educational tools. But the first thing that many teachers love is the fact that they can create their own screencast and upload and add their own questions. Now, this to me is the ideal and optimal way to use EdPuzzle, because you can actually create your own content. If you're into flipping your classroom, which we can talk about another time, you can do that. You can meet your curricular goals, or if you have an individual student with individual goals, you can develop that program using you presenting screencasting, kind of how what I'm doing right now, and send that video to your EdPuzzle, add your questions for those formative checks, and that will really be individualized for your students. So that's what I know a lot of teachers love about it. I love that EdPuzzle also has access to YouTube and other channels already inside of it. So if there's a clip that you typically show when you start introducing, numbers or whatever it is in a math class, you can grab that kind of number video, upload it into EdPuzzle, and again, add your own questions, your own formative checks. Discovery Channel, TED, there's like the TED Talk channel. The whole bunch of channels are already in there. So it's quick and easy to kind of search out the media that you want to use with your students. And it is content specific. One thing I really love is that EdPuzzle has added audio notes and responses. So this just makes it more accessible for students with various needs, and students now have the ability to kind of respond, with an audio note versus, selecting the answer or writing out the answer. Also for teachers, it also gives us the ability to add notes to our screencasts or to the videos that we upload from different channels and kind of put in an audio note. And I'll show you that with the live demo, how that can be powerful. Of course, analytics are always amazing. It provides data for us. If we are using this as a formative tool, we can see a couple of things. If a student has watched a video, a 2-minute video, and it took them 20 minutes, you will actually see, okay, they had to rewatch the segment number 1 4 times. That gave them trouble. Or you can see that, this kid kind of breezed through it the first time and got all the answers. This kid is ready to move on, whereas another kid may need more time. Also, I love data because people, oh, I totally did that video. And then I pull up the screen and say, well, Bugs Bunny, according to my data, you did not. And it's like, oh, that EdPuzzle? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't. Maybe you didn't. So that's what I love about EdPuzzle. It keeps everybody true, honest, and on task and accountable. We love that EdPuzzle is integrated with Canvas and Google Classroom. The magic of being integrated with Canvas as a true LMS is that when students do like multiple choice responses in EdPuzzle, those grades will automatically push into your Canvas gradebook, which is just one less thing to do. So just a couple of best practices. EdPuzzle should, number 1, be used to supplement and support, reteach, basically to enhance what we're already doing with our students. So we don't really want to get into doing 25, 30-minute videos with 15 or 20 questions. One workaround, because I believe in direct instruction, I'm all about it. But if I have 15 or 20 minutes of instruction, then what I'm going to do is try to chunk that into 5-minute segments or 3 to 5 minute segments. And then I call them episodes. And then maybe over a 6-day period, I'll do 2 to 3 videos a week or every 6 days. In between, what it allows you to do is to apply some of that knowledge in class using the content, and it allows you kind of to break students up and work with different students. Create your own screencast is a best practice out there in general, and they even say with your face in it. So if you're having a bad hair day, I understand if you may not want your face in it, but you may at least want your voice in there based on some of the best practices that come out in the research about what students retain. So instructional strategies, basically you can use EdPuzzle in a variety of ways in class for homework or review. Down at the bottom are some great ways to use it. One of my favorite ways is the rotation station, where you have like an EdPuzzle station where it's kind of like self-directed and self-taught. You give students time there while you're working with the group over here, while these kids are analyzing a document over there. Give it 10 minutes, rotate, students change stations. That's just one of my favorite. There's some other great ones down there. And now I want to move to a live demo. When you sign up for EdPuzzle, you'll see your library obviously will be empty at first. Your content can be found under content. Network is actually anyone in the school district, and there are a lot of people who are using it. And so just know that your videos are out there within our kind of domain. Also, if you select Discover, and you go to YouTube, this is how you can access various channels within YouTube, Khan Academy, National Geographic, TED Talks, blah, blah, blah. I recorded a screencast yesterday on the Freedom Riders. So after recording my own screencast, first you'll notice a couple of things. I did try to keep it at 3 minutes and 46 seconds. So maybe more kids will make sure that they get this assignment done when they see the time. And then I'm going to click edit. When I go into edit, there's a couple of things that I have the opportunity to do. I can cut it, I can do voiceovers, and I can add questions. For the sake of time, I'm just going to focus on notes and questions, which are all over here under this panel that says questions. Couple of best practices that I have come across. I am cheating a little bit because usually I don't have my questions already prepared, but one of them is that before you even start the video, that you kind of use the features of open-ended questions as a reflective tool. So I'm going to make this a video ticket in and ask the student to do some things, reflect upon prior knowledge and learning. And before the video even gets started, they're going to have to answer that question. So I added that question by open-ended. I added the question, and you can see it was added because a little teardrop kind of came up in there. Now, I've already previewed this video. I'm going to move it to about maybe, let's see if I can scooch it along. And I'm going to move to a note because I think notes are pretty powerful. and the way that you can use it here. So this is a portion of the video that I have some information that I want students to start jotting down, just specific information. So I'm going to go to note and use the note feature. Now, again, I cheated, but what I want them to do is to jot down just a couple of key things. So I'm going to click on note, and I'm going to type that in there, but I also want to tell them verbally. So when the video reaches this point, it's going to stop. The students can play my voice, or they can read it, or they can do both. Hey guys and dolls, this is Miss Flood. Could you jot down any dates, purpose, or anything in red that we see here on this slide? Because we probably will see this again in one of our future assessments. Thanks.
Tammy, can I ask a real quick question?
Yes.
When they jot down a note, when you put in a note question, does that note stay with the student with the video? Like, will the teacher see those notes, or is that just for the student's view?
Yeah, you'll see them as well. As you can see, that's a great question. Well, first you can see that the written portion came down. That was what I put in there. And then the audio version is right here. So if the student played that, that's where they would see.
Oh, okay, okay.
And over on the left navigation, this is still my teacher view. I can see my note as well, and I can see that there's an audio file. Yep, great question. All right, so I'm going to insert that one right there. I'm going to shut Tammy up for a second. And finally, I'm going to get to the type of question that we probably use the most, and that is the multiple choice question. These are self-grading because you will put in the proper answer. So this is the point where I want to ask, actually, I'll move it over just a little bit. This is the point where I want to ask a multiple choice question. So here's my question right here. And it doesn't matter what order I put the questions in, because EdPuzzle will move them around automatically anyway. But what was the name of the act? I'm going to put the Bus Act. Number 2, the Flood Act. And number 3 is going to be the got to spell it right, Interstate Commerce Act. All right, now the correct answer, I just need to let EdPuzzle know which one that is, and it will grade that one for me. So I'm going to check the green checkbox, and then we're all done. To end this out, again, with the best practice, one thing you might want to do at the very end is add another question, open-ended or not. You know, what do you know that about, you know, the freedom riders that you didn't know before? You can save that question, and then you're all done. When you have your perfectly edited video and you have your formative questions in there, you simply select finish. Then it's time to assign. If you're a Google Classroomer and you've connected your Google Classroom, it's really easy. You just connect that class. If you are a Canvasser, you simply go over to your assignment in Canvas, fill it out the way you normally would. And then I want you to go down to submission type. You're going to select external tool, find, go into EdPuzzle, which, because it's all integrated, you're then going to find, here's the video you just created seconds ago. You see your 3 questions there. This is what you want. You select next, assign, prevent skipping. That's the beauty of EdPuzzle. You go ahead and put in who you want it to go to. So if it's just one student that you want to send this video to, you can do that. But if you want everyone to have this video, you keep it as is with everyone. And then you put in your due date, which I'll do very quickly. And then it will be, where we at? We'll say, we'll give them homework on New Year's Eve. Save and publish. And this is what it'll look like to you. It'll look a little different to the student. If you have any further questions about it, please reach out to myself, Lisa Rock, or Kevin Murphy. We would be more than happy to help you out with EdPuzzle. Thank you for coming, and I hope you have a great one.